All right, it's time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, how is your team getting through this week, moving past that loss to the Jets and looking forward to Week 11?
Well, you have to move past all these games. You can't let those linger, whether it's a win that you're celebrating or a loss that you're wishing had a different outcome. You have to move on, and a big part of our football team is understanding the things that are holding you back from getting a win, particularly that last game. Obviously, there's things that we just can't do. Now, having said that, you have to apply those lessons. That's such a big part of football is identifying things and then finding a way to not do those in the future.
You had the opportunity to put those lessons into use. Second matchup with the Baltimore Ravens, this time at home. How much different does this team look from that week 2, and how much different does your team look when you're game prepping for them?
You know, you really do. You put on the tape and you look at the guys that they have on their side and the guys that we have on our side, and there's differences. And that's maybe no surprise in the NFL that there's certainly a idea that with guys get injured, guys get traded, whatever it is. So you look out there and there's just different players. So you go into every single game trying to understand who they have in their matchups and what matchups you like on your side. And there certainly are differences as guys have come back from injury as well.
One of those guys coming back from injury. He's been back for a couple games. Lamar Jackson sidelined with that hamstring injury, but he's missed a couple practices this week with the knee injury. So are you anticipating any limitations for Lamar Jackson in this one, and how do you prepare for him?
Yeah, we're not anticipating any limitations. He's obviously a great player, somebody that we've gone against so many times over the years. We have a ton of respect for him. He's back, and he looks as healthy as ever, and he's making plays through the air with his feet. He really can do it all.
In your last matchup, it was really close to the first half. Things kind of got away for you guys with a couple explosive touchdown passes. How important is it to limit some of those deep shots, maybe even settle for those intermediate passes, the checkdowns with a receiving core like that and Lamar Jackson under center? Yeah,
I think the big picture takeaway from that first game is we really put our defense in some tough spots. We had an interception, we had a fumble return for a touchdown, we had a blocked punt, we had a big punt return. So we really didn't allow our defense to play, to our ability with a field position in mind. So it's a very, very difficult offense to stop when you're talking about the Ravens. They have playmakers at every level. Obviously, everything goes through Lamar and Derrick Henry and the playmakers they have on the perimeter. But we have to do our part as a team to try to win that field position game.
Well, your defense was able to hold Derrick Henry to under 50 rushing yards in the last matchup, Lamar to just 13. How do you anticipate them maybe adjusting to your ability to stop the run, and how much more sound do you have to be having shown what you guys can do?
I mean, it's a huge part of slowing this offense down is trying to stop the run, and it's easier said than done because they have a myriad of ways to get the ball, whether on the perimeter, downhill with some gap schemes. They can use the quarterback run. They have Derrick Henry plus multiple guys who can touch the ball from the backfield. So it's a varied scheme. You have to be sound, and you have to play really, really hard.
I know it's a team effort, but Carson Schlesinger has had a standout rookie season already. In terms of a matchup like this one, we know how important a linebacker play can be in terms of maybe slowing the run, spying on the quarterback, pure tackling. How beneficial is it to have a guy like Carson playing the way he is in a matchup like this?
Yeah, Carson's been a huge part of our defensive success right there in the middle of the defense, the nerve center of the defense as the middle linebacker, all the responsibilities that you have. But then when you are going up against a team like Baltimore and some of these attacks that you go up against, having a guy in the middle with the speed, with the length to try to defend these guys is a very big deal.
All right, we'll look at your offense. Dylan Gabriel said this week that his growth isn't going to be linear. It's going to have progression and regression. So what are you looking for out of him against the Ravens?
I think, and he probably said it well, I think you're looking for constant improvement. Not to say that our rookies at any position are going to be perfect. You're trying to learn from some of your mistakes. And obviously, when the opportunities present themselves, try to make plays for our team. And that goes for every position across the board.
Another rookie, Quinshon Judkins, last meeting had 61 yards against the Ravens. It was his NFL debut. He's had a lot more experience now. How important is establishing the run going to be in this one and sticking to it if you can, if the game allows for it?
Absolutely. And Quinshon was back for that first game, as you mentioned, and was on a pitch count, if you will, as we got him up to speed. He's really ready to go, is ready for a full workload.
And your receivers, Jerry Jeudy got work early and often against the Jets. Cedric Tillman coming back from that injury second game. Are they able to really open up this offense if you can get those two going specifically?
Without a doubt, and this is a very good secondary, as you know, so it's going to be quite the challenge, but having said back now, I think gives us some size at the position as well, and like we saw last week and really every week, Jerry's going to be a huge focal point of our offense.
I know how much the Ravens lean on their tight ends, especially Mark Andrews leading the way, but you guys have two standouts in David Njoku and Harold Fannin Jr. How much can we expect to see them, and how important can tight end play be against a team like the Ravens?
The Ravens it's a tough outfit. It's a stout front, like I mentioned, a great secondary. They have speed on the other side. Obviously, Dave and Harold are a big part of what we do. They're on the field together quite a bit, and they have their roles. I think both guys really excel in specific roles, and they're definitely going to be needed this week.
And I know we talk about it every week. Special teams is important. Last week, I know that unit's looking to bounce back after giving up those 2 touchdown returns. What does this week look like in terms of preparing to clean up things on their end, also while preparing for the Ravens special teams?
Yeah, obviously a disappointing outing for our group, and we need to be better. We understand that the impact that special teams has on a football game is huge. It can impact points, obviously, when you're talking about field position. So we have to bounce back. We have to have a great, relentless effort throughout everything we do.
All right, well, good luck on Sunday. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, Cam.